Hello everyone, welcome to A Trader's Journey. My name is Leslie Pips. Welcome to another video. We're gonna do a watch list today. Today's video is gonna be a little bit lengthy because I'm gonna be doing my watch list with you guys, and I'm gonna be deleting everything I have on the chart, and then we're gonna start over creating a watch list for the week. So bear with me, it might be a bit lengthy, but I believe it's something we can all learn together as we move into the new week, new month. And so let's jump right into it. If I can find my mouse, there we go. So what I do every week is I like to delete all the intermediate SNR levels, because I trade support and resistance, but obviously there's a lot of things baked into that. It's not just support and resistance. But what I like to do is I like to delete the intermediate SNR levels. What I mean is the small levels in the middle of the range, like this one here. So I like to focus on the big, the major levels like these ones over here. Because I feel like they're still quite strong and price does react to them quite a lot. So those are the ones that I leave on the chart when I go into a new week. So yeah, going into euro dollar, I'm just gonna stay on the 4 hour. What are we seeing? Obviously we are technically, let me zoom out, technically bullish because of, you can see market structure, basic market structure. We created a low, failed to break a high, created a new low, broke the high over here, and this is our new low. Price broke this level here. You can see why I leave these levels here, because of the reaction of price at these major SNR zones. So we broke this level, became break the support, became resistance, and you can see we are breaking structure all the way up. So we are clearly bullish, and then we had a bit of a pullback here, coming to retest this level again, because we had a break up and then price ran. Usually when market creates a basically a demand zone, it comes back to retest the demand zone. So that while we're staying above this zone, I believe we are still bullish. The only way that's gonna change my mind, if I see any break and then retest at this level, then I believe we can target this SNR zone. But at the moment we are still bullish. So going to the new week, I'm going to be looking at this intermediate SNR zone. You can see there was a lot of rejection at this zone, and I'm going to be monitoring what happens when we open at this level over here, whether price going to break and come retest the zone again. But I don't believe we're going to do that. So I don't like trading these middle of the range zones, because of price can go either way. I like making my decisions at these type of levels here. So at the moment I'm going to be monitoring euro dollar and see what sort of price we get, because we are bullish. My sentiment stays bullish. So if we can get a bit of a fake out below the zone and maybe a retest, maybe I can consider trading into the zone, because it's a big enough range for me to make enough out of the trade from this level here. Because of, if we hold, but I'd like to see a fake out and then a break and retest, and then I can take it towards this level. So I'm gonna mark this and then keep it in my watch list and just monitor it, what happens when the Asia opens. And if we sort of break the zone and come here, I'll wait to see whether we can get another fake out and then push up, or price is turning bearish. So far this is, I'll keep it as is for now, because we are bearish at the moment. Because you can see, if I maybe mark this, let me just show you quickly. I don't want to make it as a lengthy video. If I show you, see this is the low that broke structure. So we pull back 50% of this level, and it coincides with my major SNR zone. So this will have to convince me a lot, and I'd love to see a fake out and then a break break and retest above, then I can take it towards 18190. So I'm going to be monitoring and see what happens with trading overnight. And moving to pound dollar. So pound dollar is quite interesting because of it's already broken. It's not sitting in the middle of an SNR zone. It kind of is, because the major levels are up here. The levels that I prefer, one is here. So this becomes my intermediate SNR zone, because you see there where the big turning points are. This is a massive turning point in price. This is a massive turning point. This is a massive turning point. So where the biggest turning points are, those become my major levels where price made a significant run from that zone. So these become my major levels, and these ones, obviously there is a big turning point here, but I see it as a intermediate SNR zone, because of this for me is still a major level. So what will happen here, same as euro dollar, we had a break of structure, reacted at this SNR zone, pull back, and this is still holding. This support is still holding. Obviously we had a big run. They were closing out the month, so the price action looks a little bit I did miss this trade. I'll do a separate video on it. Price didn't tag me in, but it is what it is. So this one is a bit more interesting because I like this price action better, because of we still have a gap over here that price can fill, and then obviously I'm looking for the same thing here, but the only problem with this one is it doesn't give me enough into the zone. If I get my ruler, it doesn't give me enough pips. Yeah, it's 89 pips compared to euro dollar, where you get enough out of your trade. There's a lot more room to go, you know what I mean? So, but I'm gonna be watching both of them. Which one is a cleaner setup, I'm bullish on both of them, unless I can see price break and retest this area, and then I'll be looking for a bit of a fake out, and then we close back in this way. So it has to convince me a lot for me to consider taking shorts, because of the market's still bullish for me in my eyes. So I'm only looking for longs. So let's see how it is. If it breaks and holds this level, then probably gonna be more conservative and wait for it to come here, and then I can make my decision from there, because of there's not enough meat on the bone for me to target this high. So I'll monitor this as well. I'll just leave it on my watch list. Going to NZD. NZD is quite interesting. I just want to zoom out a bit. These are my... Just want to zoom out a bit and show you. This is still an intermediate zone. My major zone is at this turning point here, this one here. So this is my major zone, this level here. This is still my intermediate zone, but price is sort of reacting at this level, but my major zone is up here. So quite interesting as well, because of we had a push, reacted of the zone, and then we broke below, we faked out below this level, and then closed back above. But we are still reacting off this. It doesn't give you enough room for it to run up, you know. So I'll monitor this. The only way I'm gonna trade this is if it comes up here, and then maybe I can look for a trade going up into my major zone. But the fact that it's struggling to break this level concerns me a bit, especially since that there's not enough room to enter this zone up to here. You know, it might just react and come back. So it's gonna be probably a short in and out trade if I take it at this level, because of we are struggling to break this resistance zone. It's struggling. We've been struggling for quite some time now to break the zone. So we are sort of stuck in this range, and it's not for me. I'm not loving this because of we are at the top of the range. I don't want to be buying into a resistance level. I'd rather wait for it here. Whereas with euro dollar, there is a little bit more room to play around, if we are gonna continue this bullish movement. So I'm gonna leave this for now, and let's see how Monday trades, and then we can relook at it again. With Aussie dollar, obviously it's the strongest pair at the moment, but it's heading into a little bit too premium of a zone for me. But it's a pair that I don't want to sell because how strong the Aussie dollar is. So if I look here, this is our major turning point. We are trading into our major resistance turn support, but it is very, very strong. I do not want to sell this pair. I just want to buy it. So it's not, for me, it's in the overbought position. I think I'd love it to maybe come back a little bit more again for me to consider buying this. So Aussie dollar, I'm not gonna entertain it because it's so strong, but we don't have a lot of room to move up. If for instance look for an entry here, we are already in a premium zone. Let me just go to the daily and zoom out and show you what levels I'm looking at. You see there's a major level here, another major level here, but I feel like it needs to drop first for me to buy it. But it's not a pair that I want to sell at the moment, so I'm gonna be pushing it aside for a bit. Dollar CAD, let me delete these intermediate zones. I'm gonna leave my major zones. Dollar CAD is another one that I wanted to sell, but price didn't come back. I wanted to sell at 137.3, but we failed to pull back into my zone. So also it's sold off a lot, right? If I'm looking at this support zone, you don't want to be selling into support, so you want some bit of a reprieve. So that means there's a bit of a conflict. If I want to buy euro dollar and pound dollar, there's a bit of a conflict in terms of this might shoot up and these might drop. So I am staying away from this one for now. It's because we are already at support, and I'm not sure we're gonna keep pushing down, because every time we come down here at these levels, we sort of pull back. So the only way I'm gonna short this is if we get a bit of a pullback into my original zone and then another drops down. So I'm staying a little bit away from this because the trade idea is a little bit too far, because we're already at support. I don't see this pushing any further down before we pull back, because it's been a level where every time we come back here we get a big pullback. So I'm gonna be staying away from this a bit because the trade idea is still a little bit too far. I would love to see a bit of a pullback. If we are pulling back, then my buy idea on euro dollar and pound dollar doesn't work, because there's going to be a conflict. And you can clearly see we have a little bit of an intermediate SNR zone here. If we are shifting bullish, it's going to be a mean reversion trade. That means you get in and out very quickly. So if we do have a little bit of a break and retest here, you can see we had a fake out. If this is a fake out, if price breaks this level and then we retest this level, so we can trade it into the zone, and from there we can have a look at what the market does when we get to the zone. For now, I will keep an eye on it, see how Monday prints, and after Monday I will be looking at it. But it does look like it is starting to pull back slightly. It left some gaps above here, so if we get a break and retest here, I can look at it to trade into the zone, and then we can decide from there. But that's if the DXY switches bullish. So it's another monitor and wait. The yen pairs, I'm not even going to look at them. We had a bit of an intervention. Every time we come around the 160, the 160 mark, the BOJ intervenes. You can clearly see in your charts, you can clearly see if we add a 160, here's 160 intervention, 160 intervention. So the yen is quite weak at the moment. That's why you get the BOJ intervening at all times. So I'm not entertaining the yen pairs just for now because of it's very weak. So if we do pull back into the zone, I will buy it. If we get a sort of a break of structure and a break and retest of these intermediate SNR zone, if I look at this area here, if we do, because I prefer buying the yen pairs because it's so weak. So if I am going to buy this, I would love to see a bit of a break and retest here, because you can see, and then maybe trade it into filling out these gaps, because you can clearly see this will be our break of structure, and then we get a retest at the zone, and then we can trade it into these levels, because this is the range that price has been stuck in for a long time. That's why it's so weak, because it's not dropping as it should be. So only the reason it drops is because of these interventions. So if we are switching bullish again, I'm going to be looking for a break of structure and a retest here. So I'll mark this, even though I want to stay away from the yen pairs. I prefer buying them than selling them because of that very reason of the yen index being very weak. Swiss dollar, don't love it that much. This one, CAD yen, not in love with it. I'm gonna not look at it for now. This is quite interesting, because if the euro is strong, if we are bullish on the euro, I will be looking at this, because of it moves quite fast if the euro is strong. So again, another break and retest above the zone. I'll be looking at that. Let me just fix my my zones. This one has been broken too many times, so it is not valid to me anymore. I will be looking at these areas, because it's quite a big turning point, a lot of volume in these areas. So I'll be looking at that, and my small little SNR zone here as well. So any break and retest above this area, because I know it's going to move quite fast up here, because if the euro is strong, if we continue the bullish momentum on the euro dollar, then we can see. So I'm going to be monitoring the conflicts with the pairs, especially with the dollar CAD and UJ. So I'm going to be monitoring the conflicts. If we are bullish, the dollar CAD idea does not work if the euro dollar is bullish. So if the euro dollar is bullish, then that means my euro yen idea is valid. So that's where the conflict you have to look at when you're planning your trade. So I'm going to mark this. I don't like GJ. I just put it here just to monitor what works better. And what else we cannot look at? Not GJ. Let's look at New Zealand CAD. Conflicted on this one. Do not love the price action here. Pound CAD, also stuck in a range. Not looking at it at the moment unless we have a break below these zones, above these zones. Not looking at it. Euro CAD also stuck in here, stuck in the zone. Obviously, if I'm going bullish on euro yen, I'm not gonna trade euro dollar. So also stuck in a range. And the last one, let's have a look at Euro NZD. Euro NZD, also quite stuck in a range. I'm not interested in it, especially if they're both strong against the dollar. I like to trade it when the dollar is a bit stronger, and then you can buy or sell the weaker or the stronger pair. because I think the euro is a bit stronger than the New Zealand, but it only shows its hand when they are both weak against the dollar. So as long as the dollar keeps dropping, I avoid this pair. If the dollar start turning bullish, then I'll be looking for buys on this pair. So let me take it off my watch list for now, especially while the dollar is so weak. I know this is a bit of a lengthy video, but it's educational for me, hopefully for you. Hopefully you have the patience to go through all of this with me. And going into gold is quite a strange one. I don't have like a lot of major turning points unless it's at the bottom here, or this level here where I missed a few trades last week. Hasn't been a great trading year for me, but we still have a lot to go in the year. A lot can change, so I'm gonna be looking at this level. It is looking a bit weaker as long as the war keeps continuing. If we do break below this level, maybe this can 43.1 can come into play. It's gold is, yeah, it's up and down at the moment. We can have a break, and then price comes back into the zone. So for me, gold is a day to day. Some days you can get a good setup. Some days you get like days like this where it's just ranging. So I'm gonna be looking at this. I'm not sure at the moment whether we bullish or bearish. It's a day by day thing. I might get a setup here, trade it into the zone, and then just keep trading from zone to zone until we have a clear understanding on where the war is going with dollar and with the US and Iran. So hopefully you guys picked up something out of this. I certainly learn a lot from these videos when I do them, and it's a good way to review myself as well, and hopefully you guys learn a thing or two. It's quite a lengthy video. I hope you can watch the whole thing, and yeah, thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.